Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Local news, politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Marty on the beat. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty.
Good morning, Rockingham and Bellows Falls. It's Mike and Marty here on the feed. Special guest today, Alex Stradling from
That's
Fact TV.
That's right. They run this station. Colin, can you fix the center cam, please? It's off.
It's going to be one of those. Yep, there it is. All right.
And you'll notice that you took Mike's spot even. You
Yes,
said
he
to Mike, move over.
Made me move
Took his
over.
spot.
Took the prime
took
spot.
took his microphone.
Taking over his host.
That's right. We know
Taking
who,
over
the
your show.
know who the alpha dog is here.
You gotta boost the numbers here.
Yeah,
You know?
all right.
You got to go from 1 to 2.
1 to 2.
Getting started. Marty, local events.
Local events. So this Saturday, Parks Place Community Resource Center is presenting the first annual Back to School Bash. It's Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. right in front of Parks Place on School Street Extension. Everything's free. There'll be games, there'll be food,
neat.
prizes. It's a community resource fair, so there'll be different entities there related to community resources for school-age kids and families. The Rotary will be there. We're going to be doing lemonade, fresh
nice.
lemonade for the kids. And they're hoping to make it something that happens every year to kind of get people into the back to school thing.
spirit.
So even if you don't have a child going to the school, come down, support the event, see there'll be lots of community resources there. So come
Yeah.
on down from 1 to 3
Will
on
there be
Saturday.
like swag you can get? Like you said, prizes, right?
Yeah, there's prizes and games.
Oh, neat.
I don't
So
know.
if you have
There's
kids,
a hula
it'd be
hoop
like
pictured here, so maybe you could come down and hula hoop.
Well, I wasn't thinking so much me, but I was thinking younger kids that might be in the
Yeah.
neighborhood that might
Yeah.
live there would be a perfect
Even
thing
adults, they might want to play in hula hoop. You know. I mean,
That's true.
come on.
That's true. I shouldn't. I shouldn't be whatever. I need to be more informed.
Movies at the Opera House this week. Coming is The Suicide Squad from August 27th through the 31st. And then special at 3 o'clock on the weekend, on Saturday and Sunday the 28th and 29th, Boss Baby is going to be showing. I'm guessing they're doing that because The Suicide Squad is an R-rated film.
Yeah,
So they're
kids might-
doing a kids film on the weekend. So the Opera House is really working to make sure they accommodate everybody.
Great.
They're doing a great job.
Great.
Classic Film Wednesday continues in October with Wednesday, September. Oh, excuse me. This is September. I lost a month.
All right. Moving through
Woo,
that fall.
moving through. Wednesday, September 1st is Pulp Fiction. That is sponsored by Masuko and Stern. On Wednesday, September 8th, Dirty Dancing, sponsored by Tom Call Excavation. On Wednesday, September 15th, this one actually makes me laugh, is Double Indemnity, sponsored by Greater Falls Insurance. Great choice, Greater Falls
Yes,
Insurance. And on Wednesday, September 29th, there's actually a free admission to Easy Rider, sponsored by the Bells Falls Rotary Club.
Yeah.
And then there's a live event happening on Wednesday, September 22nd, which is an evening with David Sedaris. But that's a
Busy month.
Busy
at the,
month is in-
at the Opera House.
That's interesting. The Rotary Club and Easy Rider.
That's what
I know that's what Mike said. So I think it comes down to personal choice of the person that decided to do this.
No, it's a great film.
And
Wow, I was just
also, I know Charlie kind of guides people towards movies that he thinks people would want to
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
and movies that they can get. Like, I think they have to have the rights to certain movies.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
it is an ultimate boomer movie. It
It
is a
is.
baby
It is,
boomer.
yes. No, it is a boomer movie. But now you guys used to be riding on Harleys and like a Rolling Stone, and now you're on in the Rotary Club.
In the Rotary Club, instead of Harleys, they're
That's
using
exactly.
they're using those little carts.
They got those things that you
Those
get at
little-
the
those
at
little automated
Walmart.
chairs. And then I just wanted to plug us because we actually are booked a month in advance this time, which never happens. So next week on the feed we have Sean McGinnis. On the 8th we're going to have Laura Scherbaum and Deb Witkiss from Greater Falls Connections. On the 15th we have Gail Golick coming to talk about her podcast, which I'm excited to hear about. On the 22nd we have J.R. Lane from the Turning Point Center, because Turning Point is actually now got a satellite location here in Bells Falls.
Great. That's good.
So on the 29th, I will be away, but Deb from the chamber and Charlie are going to come on with Mike to talk more about
Flannel Festival.
Flannel Festival,
That's
because we're
gonna be
going to be like the countdown to Flannel Festival. And then on October 6th, we have Matt Maservi from Working Fields.
That's great.
So if anyone's looking to get on the show, you can contact Alex. I'll give him your.
Yeah, well, you can contact, or that
Oh
station.
yeah,
or
if you want to,
Station.
if you want to get on the show, you have to contact my agent. He lives in LA. No, you just give me hit me up. Can you put up the information, Colin? So it's you can go to our website www.fact8.com, get my email, find out what's going on at Fact TV, or you can just give me a call at 802-463-1613. Or email me at alex@fact8.com, or you can always just walk in through the door and say, hey, I want to be on the feed. And we're at 1 Hospital Court, Bells Falls, Vermont.
And if it's a Wednesday, you'll probably go on that day.
Exactly. Sometimes there are times that we're not this
Yeah.
far booked out. Believe me.
Ask Alex.
We're
He came in this
scrambling.
morning, and here he is.
Here I am, yeah.
Anyway, but one of the things you were talking about is people coming in to do their new show, their own shows.
Yeah.
And they have an idea, they come in and do their own show. You have a great new show that's coming on that I've been in the station for the last couple of weeks, and I've seen these people come in, and it is amazing.
Yeah, I did it all myself, man. I appreciate it. Came up with the idea, found the act. No, so I don't. It's Sharon Wisely, or forget. Here's her book. It's called Horse Speak, and her partner are they're horse whisperers, but they don't use whips, and they use a whole different method. So they came in. They were on a show. Early, 3 years ago.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
They were on a show and they were interviewed about what they do, and for 3 years they were like, "Oh, we should
should come in and
we
do
should
Fact
come to
TV
Fact
and do our
TV
own
and we
show."
should do a show." So 3 years later, they finally came in, and we got their show started. So yeah, it's a really great show. It basically talks about a new method of training horses
Yeah.
without using the traditional method of
Whipping.
using whips, but people don't usually whip the horses. They use it as a guide. But this is different, and they work with horses that have a lot of trauma. But their show is always talking about horse speak and the language of it. So it's really interesting. So let's show the trailer. And,
All right.
there you
We'll
go.
come back.
For 6,000 years,
Humans have cracked the whip to get horses to do what they want.
but never really learned how
How to communicate until now.
we've cracked the horse beat code.
This means we can communicate with them in their language.
Instead of expecting them to understand ours.
Oh,
Wow.
that looks really cool.
Yeah.
They-
Too bad you couldn't hear it. But
It's even better with sound.
It's even better with sound.
hey, I
you-
did my
you-
job. You were
Sound is the
entertained
key.
even without the sound. So
There,
there you
visually,
go.
it was stunning.
It was stunning. It was stunning.
Nice job on the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. You come in and you get a professionally produced opening, trailers, everything.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's free if you commit to doing a show.
Yeah.
We help you out with that, or you can do your own trailer.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, whatever skill level you want. If you want to learn how to do that and produce your own shows, you can do that too. So
That's great.
we're excited about that. And then we got another show coming up, which you should know about, Mike. I hope you know about.
There's a new show that I know about.
Yeah,
You're in it.
That your film.
Oh,
The
that I
film
filmed?
yes,
The film that I did?
film.
I wasn't
Yeah,
quite
hopefully.
sure. I wasn't sure where he was going with that segue.
Yeah,
I was
it was
ready
good,
to.
though.
I was
It was
ready
so
to do a
smooth.
segue,
Yeah.
but that was a pretty.
I
That was like
wasn't
subtle.
the feed, but it was something else.
I mean,
No,
I could tell a story. So Mike's got a film that he's working on right now.
Right.
He's been here every day. I don't know who's
Every
annoying
day.
who, if I'm annoying him or if he's annoying me. But yeah, he's been working hard at the editing, and that's great. So that's what we do here. We're not really annoying each other. We're just
Just yes.
creative differences.
That's a good point. Don't be touching
So
my
tell
stuff.
tell us what's going on with
Oh,
this. A little
well,
preview.
This is an
happening?
interesting project because I guess it was May or June, Sean McGinnis, the fire chief at in Bellows Falls, came to us and said, we really would like to do a film about the Star Hotel fire because this year is the 40th anniversary of the Star Hotel fire and the deaths and the heroism that happened during that event. And they're doing a park, and they're redoing the park right now. If people have been downtown, you see that it's all dug up, and it's going to be back together this fall. But they want to do a park, and they want to remember the people that were there. So we've been working since then to create this documentary, and we've interviewed people that were at the fire. I think there were 12 or 14 firefighters we interviewed.
I think so.
And then we've interviewed family members, and we've interviewed people that were local in the community at the time who witnessed the fire. And we've been putting it together into a documentary that's going to be premiering at the Opera House September 23rd. And it's called Called to Duty. And it's about the Star Hotel fire and the people that were there. And so I think we have a trailer for that, too.
Yeah. Let's watch the trailer.
People were rescued that night from that building because of the efforts of the fire department and the firefighters that were there.
So that's going to be it.
I might be biased, but I think you're going to give Ken Burns a run for his money.
I think you're biased.
I think we need to give Ken Burns a call and tell. No, but I would have to say this is exactly what Falls Area Community Television is. I mean, we're a public access station for folks like Mike and for organizations like the fire department and the historical society to utilize to tell stories, hyper local stories. I mean, we're here for folks in our local community to be able to tell their stories, and the Star Hotel story is one of those stories that probably wouldn't get told
That's
at
really
all
the truth.
unless there was an organization, or if somebody wanted to tell it and they didn't have the maybe they had some skill but they didn't have the resources to be able to pull it together. If there wasn't sort of community access to have the equipment and the facility and to be and some of the knowledge to be able to put it together, so that's that's kind of one of the main reasons why we exist, is so that
Yeah.
local
And I think
communities
you're
have
right,
the
this is-
resources to tell their local stories.
And this project really does illustrate
It does.
that.
It has all the pieces.
It would never have been done.
Yeah.
And you've been so helpful, and the station has been so helpful.
You've been doing all the work,
facilitating.
Mike.
Yeah, but I didn't know how to do the work before you showed me.
I said I'm willing to do the work, but hey, if you want to do it, I'll go right ahead.
I mean,
It's like,
I'm willing to do the work, but there's just so much, so many things to learn, and so much there's an expertise to it that you don't. It looks easy, you just do 90 minutes of film, but I mean, we did
just 90 minutes of film, and
we did
how many
like
hours
20 hours of interviews, and we've been
Interviews.
working constantly. And to be honest, this has been a learning experience for me, but it's really been a wonderful, sort of a discovery thing too, because we ended up going to the Brattleboro Historical Society, and this event happened 40 years ago, and it's like, well, we'll end up having to narrate and do a bunch of we'll recreate scenes, we'll do this. And they had pictures from this event 40 years ago. And it was, to me, it was really amazing because the
Pictures that they never published, right?
pictures that were never published. The photographers for the Reformer were here. There were 2 photographers. They were here for the fire. They were here for the after the fire, and here for the funeral. And they took rolls of film. And
It's crazy.
and when the Reformer went out, was changed hands. All that film was donated to the Brattleboro Historical Society. And so out of, the Reformer maybe published 2 pictures or 3 pictures. Like we were looking at the pictures of the funeral, and there was like 1 picture. And they took 2 rolls of film. And so we have all these pictures that were just amazing, excellent pictures, and we're using those as the structure of this film.
And it's important because the story is important for people to know, to really understand the kind of, I guess for lack of a better term, the sacredness of that ground and that firefighter park. A lot of people weren't here 40 years ago. A lot of folks have moved into town, weren't born yet, whatever. They see the benches and they kind of, they know kind of what happened there, but not the whole story. And there's a lot, and a lot of the folks that were pertinent to the story aren't here anymore. So to get this documented now is timely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's timely.
yeah. Well, and like I wasn't here 40 years ago, and if you had asked me in May, if even there were benches there, I would have been, I think I saw a bench there, but I wouldn't have known what they represented, who those people were, and what was actually. I didn't even realize there was a building there. Yeah, and it's just so much history and so much rich history that you're right. It's
History of Bells Falls and how the community came together, and I think I'm not going to give it away, but I think people will see that in the film. It'll come through that the community, as always, when needed, the community came together.
Yeah, and like you were saying too, I mean the things that you learn in the journey. I mean, part of making a documentary film or a long form story like this is your journey as a filmmaker. That's part of the enjoyment of doing it is finding out new things, answering questions that you have, and going through that journey. Even if it's a documentary or a a feature film, a narrative that you've totally created. There's always this sort of journey that you take, and you learn things, and through that journey. So that's part of the joy of doing those type of films, especially documentaries, because you have a question, you have an idea. I mean, somebody approached you, but then all these questions in your head, and so part of the excitement is kind of finding out and searching for those answers, and finding out what happened. So,
And then figuring out, in the course of the interviews, everyone's telling their story, but they're telling the story, and the story, I could see it in my head, because at first you were like, how are you going to put this out? Like you said, how are you going to put this all together? How are we going to tell this in a coherent manner that makes that gets people to understand it? And the firefighters that were there that night, they told you how to put it together in their stories, and it's
but it
really,
was in a way that we both discovered was that even the firefighters that were there, they saw their pieces. I mean, it was almost like they were hyper focused on what they were doing, which is understandable. They're fighting a fire, but even when we talked with them, they were like, "Oh, really? That's how that happened then?" And so it's really just putting the whole thing together. It's been pretty cool. I'm excited. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah. We're providing support and helping out with all the aspects of production, but you're doing all the work. So.
But and so it'll premiere at the Opera House on the 23rd.
and Sean's going to come on next week.
In true Fact TV fashion. It's not done yet. It's sort of put together. We sort of know where it's going. And the bones are on it, but we have Alex is going to help us put the lipstick and everything else.
Oh, nice hair and makeup.
Put the lipstick, the hair and makeup on it.
Yeah.
It's a little rough. It woke up in the morning. That's where it's at, right? It just woke up in the
It
morning.
woke up with
It hasn't
hair.
had its cup of coffee yet. It needs to get dolled up, and then it'll be ready for a presentation.
But that's sort of where we are right now.
And I just want to plug again that Sean's coming on next week.
Yeah,
and we'll talk more about it next week.
we
and
will
more
be.
about what is actually going to happen in the premiere. Not actually, talking about the purpose for getting donations for the park.
Yeah.
We'll let
I
Sean
mean,
talk
that's
about
sort of,
that.
we're talking about the process right now, but the purpose is to fundraise, and so we're really going to be pushing that purpose here in over the next several weeks
To
because
fundraise and I think to honor.
yeah, that's true. I guess I always get things sort of in reverse order. It's the purpose is to honor the people with the park.
Right,
And with the documentary and part of that is the park has to get paid for. Which is an interesting another interesting way of that they've really the town and the village have committed to this park, so they're working on it whether they have the money or not, and so it's pretty. I guess that shows some dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a pretty heavy subject, though. We need to lighten it up.
Lighten
here.
it up.
How was the pump track? I heard that you went to the pump track the other day.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You're a little big for the pump track, aren't you?
No, it's
see. I'm doing it again. I'm like, it's really.
It's for all sizes. But yeah, I tried it out, and the pump. We did have an episode. You guys had an episode, and I do recommend for folks to try out the pump track. It's really fun. You can try out tricks or not, and you get some good exercise. You
Yeah.
go up and down and so on and so forth.
Did you do tricks? I heard Bryce did tricks. He was quite good at
Yeah,
it.
he did some tricks. He did a backflip in his mind.
Well, that's the
not in
best.
real life,
It's
though,
much
but-
safer in your mind.
It is much
But
safer.
He's going to keep riding it until he gets to that point,
Good,
right?
good.
So
So you
yeah.
used a mountain bike on it, right? Or
Yeah,
did you,
a rinky mountain bike that
Wow.
hardly works. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah. A little off topic. All right. Well, anyways, I
Well,
mean,
you
we
know,
can
that's a
finish up.
segue.
How much time we got here?
How much time do we got?
How much time? 3
3
minutes.
minutes.
All right, good. 3 minutes.
We
All
need
right.
to.
So we do
plug
have
Fact
another.
TV.
We have another project coming
that's
up.
right.
A horror film called No Exit that we'll be working on. Hopefully, filming in September, maybe in October. But this is an opportunity. This will be a Fact TV production, and the production will be mixed with some professionals and some amateurs, folks like you. If you're interested in filmmaking and you want to be on a sort of filmmaking set and see how that works, that's the opportunity. So if you actually want to be a part and help out on this film, again, I'm going to put up my information. And if you want to do a show, if you want to do a show here, if you have an idea for a show, if you want to do a documentary, if there's something interesting to you, if you have some interests that you would like to talk about, like, you're a hunter or you like to do a hunting show, anything that, interests you, Fact TV's here to help you. So just, look us up on our website at www.factdate.com. You can email me at alex@factdate.com. Give us a call, 802-463-1613. We're open from 10 to 7. Or you can just come in and say, hey, what's going on? What do you guys have going on? I have an idea for a show, and we can help you with that. And that's One Hospital Court, Bellows Falls, Vermont. So we're downstairs in the basement. It's the Springfield Urgent Care Center.
Yeah.
And we're downstairs in the basement. So, yeah, don't go in through the front door with a huge awning. Go through the side door, the back door.
Into the
lower
basement.
You gotta-
what's it called?
in the
The
lower
And
level.
you gotta knock the secret knock, and I'll come and let you in, right? There's no secret knock. The door's open, but
Doors are open.
it's the side door.
All right.
And I would
that-
encourage anyone that's interested, especially with helping out with your film. It's just fascinating to see how it gives you an appreciation of watching movies if you've ever been on a production of a movie,
Yeah,
to see
definitely
how it all comes up, because you don't always do the things in sequence,
No.
and you have to do multiple takes, and it's really interesting. And if you're interested in doing a show, if Mike and I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, it's
Really.
It's true. Come on.
it's hurry up and
It's
wait.
not-
I mean, on average, I'll just so folks have an understanding. Like if your film's if you watch an hour and a half film, whether it's The Suicide, whatever film that you're watching, 5 minutes of that takes 1 day to shoot, or even less.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes that you're watching, that was 1 day.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's a long process.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you you're looking for crew and actors, or just crew?
Just crew, just
Okay.
folks that are interested in whether or not they want to learn a little bit about how to do camera work. They want to learn, a little bit about how to do makeup special effects. If they,
Yeah.
you know,
And
any
you
aspect
have
of the production.
professional photographers, cameramen coming in, and professional special effects people.
Makeup guy.
And makeup guy.
Yeah.
So it's really is
Nice.
an opportunity to learn.
Yeah, so that's the goal, is kind of get some professionals and then mix it up with some with folks that want to learn, you know, and have that. And so the folks that are coming on, the professionals, they know that this is also you know, kind of like a little workshop
Yeah.
training experience for folks too. So
Great.
Okay. That's it for
Well-
this week. We are done on the feed. We will see you next week when Sean McGinnis is going to be on. And thank you, Alex,
Alex.
for coming on at short notice and providing.
and dropping your viewership.
No.
No. That's it for the feed.
Bye,
We'll see you
community.
next week. Thank you.
Local news, politics, business, sports, arts, music.